As the world marks International Women's Day 2025 with the theme Accelerate Action, we shine the spotlight on trailblazing women making waves in Nigeria's housing sector. Now, despite being a male-dominated industry, these women have carved out a niche for themselves, paving the way for future generations. Through determination and resilience, they've overcome numerous challenges, defying stereotypes and breaking down barriers. In this special future, we celebrate the successes, impacts, and contributions of these strong women in housing, while also exploring the obstacles they faced and the lessons they've learned. Join us as we accelerate action and amplify the voices of these women who are redefining the landscape of Nigeria's housing sector. I am Yemina Bagudu. Welcome to the program Inside the Real Estate on Housing TV Africa. Let's take a quick break. Our guest has just joined us, but when we come back, we'll be introducing her. We'll be back shortly.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
Now, for the sake of those that are just joining us, as the world marks International Women's Day 2025 with the theme Accelerate Action, we shine the spotlight on the trailblazing women making waves in Nigeria's housing sector. Now, despite being a male-dominated industry, these women have carved out a niche for themselves, paving the way for future generations. Through determination and resilience, they've overcome numerous challenges, defying stereotypes and breaking down barriers. In this special future, we celebrate the successes, impacts, and contributions of these strong women in housing, while also exploring the obstacles they faced and the lessons they've learned. On today's episode of the program Inside the Real Estate, we'll accelerate action and amplify the voices of these women who are redefining the landscape of Nigeria's housing sector. And joining me live today, or rather virtually, is the Managing Director of Haven Homes, Ufuoma Ilesanmi. You're highly welcome and thank you for joining us on today's program Inside the Real Estate.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
So good to start off with Happy International Women's Day, right? Let's just, let's just assume, yes, exactly. Happy International Women's Day. It's a remarkable day for all strong and hardworking women. So I'll just go straight to the point. What role do you really think women play in shaping Africans' housing landscape, and how can their contributions be amplified?
I'm sure you would have noticed, because obviously we're in the real estate sector, that a lot more women have become increasingly interested in purchasing real estate, whether it's renting, whether it's buying on their own. And that we've seen that people want to not just be part of real estate development buying, they also want to join the sector in terms of development at large. So, and what we've also noticed is when you have women that are in areas like architecture, for example, they change the landscape generally of architecture. A man will look at an architectural drawing, for example, and he will see a few things. But a woman will actually look at it at extent at which you will be wondering what was done before. And no offense to men, I'm just explaining. So, but we've seen that even in our organization, a woman looks at the architectural drawing in Haven Homes, and she changes it, at large. So a woman makes a very significant role in the area of shaping the landscape of real estate, of property, of construction, generally at large.
I love the fact that, you're highlighting that women have good eyes, to spot out any, maybe let's say mistakes in designs or
Yeah, I mean, women are the bedrock of any economy. Women are the bedrock of
yeah.
any society or any sector. So when women are put in positions, I think oftentimes women are underrated for positions that they stay in generally, and especially in our industry, because as you well know, we are very male dominated. We're very well male dominated industry. But yes,
Exactly.
yes, yeah, I like to emphasize that.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. So let's look at societal and cultural norms as Africans, as Nigerians. Like you just, stated it, that women are, sometimes, looked down on, and forgetting the fact that these women are intelligent and they have the capacity to, carry the weight and the burden when it comes to, certain jobs. It's just of recent, we're finding out that women are, going into different fields that most people know are just men that are into that profession. And it's super good to see women like you in the housing sector. So this brings me to my next question, which is societal and cultural norms. How do you think societal and cultural norms impact women's access to housing and property rights in Africa?
um, Firstly, I mean, societal norms, cultural norms are is a very deep conversation because and I'm going to actually take it from a particular scenario in a particular aspect of the industry, which is rental, for example.
Okay.
In
Okay.
today's world, women who are working in very significant organizations. So, for example, they're working in good sectors and they earn very well. Sometimes they can't even get a property. For example, in Lagos, you have to have a husband. You have to have something that. In fact, you have to be. Sometimes you even have to be Yoruba. Sometimes you are. There's all this stereotype matters that happens to women. And what they don't know, like what a lot of people don't know, is that women are the ones who will pay their credits. Women are the ones who will not owe. Women are the ones who will probably keep the property very well. So that's why sometimes it's confusing why a number of men, while you're trying to get a property, say no, I don't want a woman. Why? So society has to change from these norms. We have to move out from these norms because things are changing. Gone were those days where women normally will sit at the back and give birth to children. I mean, when I was pregnant, for example, I was on the sites. I was on the slab. I was checking things till the very day I traveled to give birth. I did not stop because I'm trying to change the face of this society norms. Because the sector has put it in a way that people they can't do these things. Women can't do these things. Only men can do it. So we need to move from this stage. And forums like this that you have created is giving us an opportunity to break these barriers. And I'm very passionate about this because I want everyone to know that we can do this. Women can actually do certain things that you think that women cannot do. And you will be surprised that once you put a woman in your space, everything transforms. So society should move out from these norms. We should be encouraged to move out of these norms. That's my own take. And for example, at Haven Homes, we have women. We thrive with women. We encourage it at large. So I will encourage other sectors, private sectors, government sectors to put in women and see how their systems will transform.
So you just made mention of, private sector, the government sector, and this brings me to my next question. How can policymakers and stakeholders support women's participation in the housing sector? And again, what benefits can be expected from increased female investment?
That's a very good question, and thanks for that. I mean, there's so many benefits. First of all, if you're able to do gender equality, you're not gonna only benefit from having a good system. Oh, is this you're going to benefit from actually growing the economy. The economy will grow. Even the society at large will grow. Right now in Nigeria, we're experiencing a lot of downtimes, a lot of downturns of things. But with women in strategic areas, we're going to benefit more. I talked about the architecture. I mean, we see more women in sales and marketing in our industry, and once we move from that place, you see that we have more growth and development in the country at large. Real estate is one sector that booms a lot, and there are times when this sector is what is driving the economy. So if we encourage more women to come in, we will have more impact in the economic growth. That is the major benefit that will come out of this.
Thank you so much, Ufuoma, for sharing your thoughts on that. So we're just going to go on a short break, and then when we come back, I'm going to be asking you a very interesting question. I'm really eager. I want to know, or rather hear from you, so far your challenges, your stories in the housing sector, and how you were able to overcome them to this level that you're in now.
All right, thank you.
So let's go on a short break. We'll be back shortly.
When the city is getting too loud, you need a home. Home is love, peace, and tranquility. Home is Housing TV Africa. Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just joining us, this is the program Inside the Real Estate and Housing TV Africa. Still having a conversation with my guest, Ufuoma Ilesanmi, the Managing Director of Haven Homes. And we're discussing Beyond Bricks, women's impact on Africa housing. So quickly, let's move to the next question. As a woman navigating the male-dominated real estate industry, I'd love to hear about your personal journey. Can you just kindly share with us some of your most significant experiences, challenges, and how you were able to overcome them?
When I started real estate about 14 years ago, and with Haven Homes, I've been here for 13 years. When I joined, I realized that, okay, it's a male dominating sector. But I didn't allow that stop me. In fact, I didn't even see it as a limitation, because for me personally, when I come into a space, I'm more looking at ways to disrupt the system positively, rather than see it as, oh, there are only few women here, and how we're going to do it. I believe that anything that a man can do, I can actually do it in. That's my own belief system naturally. So I came into the sector, saw that was happening, and fortunately, I have a phenomenal chairman, and which is Mr. Tayo Shonuga. He mentored me as though like there was nothing like any gender barrier, and I used to walk with him side by side just to make sure that I could understand everything that was going on in the industry. So for me, my journey, a lot of things is me just learning, humbling myself to put myself into the shoes of people, generally understanding how to give service, generally understanding what the industry needs, what the industry doesn't need, and I just kept growing. I mean, for example, the biggest lesson I could tell anyone to learn in the industry is relationship and network building. You see, relationship building has been the biggest lesson I've learned, because in the last 4 years has been the most challenging years of our industry. We know. I mean, what happened from COVID right up till now, the industry went through currency devaluation of naira, went through economic downturn. I mean, all those things happened, but what stood for us was our relationship we had with people. I'm not sure many can say that at the end of the day, that after these 4 years, they could deliver the properties without certain factors, because relationship we had was strong. We could call up our clients and say, this is the situation we're going through, and everyone will come together and support like family. So for me in the industry, aside from making sure that you have the high level of integrity, building the best track record, I think the challenges I faced the most were the fact that, the last few years were very tough, but the relationship stood. I've had other challenges, other series of challenges. I mean, where you meet a male client and you're trying to pitch your project to them. They look down on you because they feel you're small or you're young or you cannot close a transaction. I mean, those are major challenges that you face, but it comes with the job. So for me as a woman, I already know there are stereotypical things that comes with the territory. So because I know there are stereotypical things that comes with territory, I always just tell myself that how can I do it differently that people can understand me differently. And that's why I said to you that the first thing I had to learn and grab seriously is relationship building. By the time I got hold of that, it was non-stop. And I plan to take that to the next level as I go through my career, because people, every network you have is your currency as far as I'm concerned.
So this just reminded me of last year, 2024. You were at the African International Housing Show, and you were honored with the Woman in Real Estate Excellence Award. And I remembered, having an interview with you on the red carpet, and you expressed how excited you are, the journey you have, gone through, the challenges and what have you. So I would love to find out from you. This is 2025, right? What would you do differently?
I mean, this year I'm obviously taking more, doing more things, bigger things, better locations, going to different places, trying to position myself both internationally and in Nigeria. Before I've been positioning myself, and that's why, thanks to you guys. I mean, I think for me, I think that award was a very significant moment for me, because it's like you've been doing something for a long time, and you think that nobody's watching, you think that nobody's seeing, and all of a sudden you get that kind of award. It puts a lot of positive pressure, because right now it has put me on a position where I have to step up and continuously grow, because I realize that a lot of people are watching, and I need to keep doing this. I've even set up a mentorship school where I'm trying to even mentor other people to see, and women precisely, to see how women can continue to grow in this line, because I last year I learned a lot of things, and I'm glad that so many people benefited from what I have actually put out there. So yes, there's a lot of things that are coming up and a lot of things in store, and I cannot wait for what God has in plan for me as well. So yeah, watch this space.
And we also cannot wait to see for ourselves as well. Okay, so to wrap up today's interview with you, just kindly give us one or two words of encouragement to the younger ones out there who are looking up to you, looking up to other women in the housing sector.
I mean, for the men, I would say keep thriving, keep pushing, keep doing what you can do to get to the top. A lot of men stick to engineering, and but you can do all. You can do the development. You can be in it. For the women, I mean, women, you stay in sales and marketing. Push yourself forward. The sky is not the limit. Continue pushing yourself forward to see how you can strategically place yourself in a good place where you can go into different sides. It doesn't have to be development. It can also be, I mean, rentals, management. There's so many aspects of the construction that you can go into. So you can push yourself to be out there. And I mean, the stepping stone is there's so much height to go as stepping stone goes along.
Thank you so much for giving us a very nice word of encouragement. Before I let you go, the African International Housing Show 2025 is coming up this year. Would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts?
Oh my God, like African Housing Show. Again, I just wanted to say thank you so much for last year and the years you've been doing such phenomenal job. In fact, I told myself that I've cleared my calendar, that every year I have to register myself at the show, because last year definitely showed a lot of grounds. And I know that this year, being the 19th year of the show, is going to even transcend even better. So I'm endorsing this show, and I'm encouraging everyone who is in the industry to come to this show in it's going to be happening in Transcorp. I think it's July 27th. I have been seeing all the adverts, I've been seeing everything, and I'm even pushing it out, letting everybody know. Every junior colleague who is trying to go into the sector, who is coming into, I've encouraged them that this is a show you must be. This is a show you must go, because it was very encouraging and life changing for even myself last year. Even if I've been there the years before, but it looks like last year was a transformational time as well. So I think that everyone should go there. I will be there. Like I said, I've cleared my camera and my calendar. I must be there. So I'm very excited already.
That's beautiful. We look forward to seeing you for this year's AIHS. And who knows, maybe you might go home with another award.
That would be lovely.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much for
Ufuoma
everything.
Ilesanmi, for you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the program Inside the Real Estate. Ufuoma Ilesanmi, Managing Director of Haven Homes. We wish you the very best, and we want you to know that we're watching you closely, and we see all the good works that you do. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
You're
All right then.
welcome. So on this note, we call it a wrap on today's episode of the program Inside the Real Estate. Thank you for watching. You can watch this episode and subsequent episode by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. You can also follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Yemuna Bagudu. Do have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.